Beatty to Letizia, in the area, couldn't bring it down, shot, he scored! Matthew Letizia has scored the most incredible winner for Southampton!
In terms of football matches that respect the narrative, it's one of the greatest of all time.
What an ending to the life at the Dell!
This wasn't just the final league goal at the Dell scored by Southampton's greatest player. It was a bookend, a closing chapter on a story that had started 103 years before. Since 1898, when Saints moved to their new home, the Dell tried to evolve with the times. Whether it was the chocolate boxes of the Milton or the cages of the Arches Road, the proximity to the pitch was infamous. Generations of fans, each with their own standout moments.
It was just a bit special because it was just sort of rubbish and brilliant all at the same time.
I remember going through the turnstile in what was the old West Stand, and as you get nearer you can hear the turnstiles going round and clicking round.
There was no other stand like the Milton Road end really in the country, and you were so close to the pitch, you could feel the players breathing. It was just a magical place really.
Matt Letizia and Francis Benali have fond memories of their time shared on the Dell pitch, knowing the stadium was key to surviving in the top flight.
I loved the Dell because of the way that it was set up, because the fans were just right on top of you. And yeah, the crowd played a massive part in some of those escapes without any question at all.
There was something about the atmosphere, there was almost something you could sense and smell in the air as well, and yeah, the most incredible place to play. You knew every nook and cranny of it, and it felt like home.
When we were apprentices, we used to kick off 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and then we'd go back to the Dell in time for watch the first team. The buzz of being in a crowd like that as a young kid, and then watching the guys coming out who I've just cleaned them boots. I've cleaned them boots. Them ones there, they're mine. And I want so badly to be out there and not just sat in here watching it.
And if I was playing on the modern pitches as well, not just the modern stadiums, I wouldn't have had a dodgy bobble to have blamed on my bad passing. It was what we were used to, and it was our familiar surroundings. So to us, it was, you know, we were quite comfortable with that.
The one stadium that I used to go to where I thought, oh, I wish we had this at the Dell, was when we go to Arsenal, and they had the heated floor.
Floors, yeah.
It was like a marble. It was like a marble floor, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah,
and it was underfloor heating. And I like back in the late '80s, underfloor heating was like, oh my God, what is this? My feet are so cosy. I didn't want to put my boots on.
The Dell never did have the luxuries and facilities now expected of modern stadiums, and so the curtain closed with a friendly against Brighton and Hove Albion, an opportunity for fans to take memories in any form they could.
The final whistle went, everyone went on the pitch, and then all you could hear was the sound of hammering, scraping, people getting screwdrivers out.
In the dressing room, you could hear, you know, people in the stands above us, you know, sort of seats being ripped out of the stand, and you know, you could just see people walking with the backs of seats with a bit of turf on top of it from the pitch.
Turf from the garden.
It's quite emotional seeing the fans like taking their seats and what it meant to everyone.
Some went a step further. Luke grabbed the bench from the dugout.
It was held in by 2 screws. We sort of yanked it and it came out, and you know, it felt like quite a big deal really.
Getting it home in a Saab convertible, well, that was a different challenge altogether.
I couldn't have got a number 17 bus with it, and we went through Shirley High Street with it sort of held above us. It's not the bench, it's the memories that are the most important thing, and you know, the friendships really.
So Rich, tell me, when did you put the Dell in your garden?
Well, I started it a couple of years ago. What better way to remember the Dell than making it into PTO form really? The big regret I've got is I walked out and I never took one last look back at it, which is probably why I built the Dell. But yeah, it was a weird day, but a good day.
The final whistle goes! That's it! Southampton have won the last ever competitive match here at the Dell.
That will always be a very, very special moment in my life, not just my career. That was just kind of dream stuff. That was quite some way to finish off at the Dell.
What an ending to the Dell history.
So many memories there for people, and obviously people digging up the pitch. So Ian got in touch to say he sent some to Japan. It was over in the Nagano Mountains. Amazing. And we've been asked for other people to get in touch as well, and people have been getting in touch. Jonathan Ayres, he remembers being a mascot against QPR in the early 80s and nearly being as tall as Captain Steve Williams there.
Julie Greenshield spent hours over the years waiting for idols to sign autographs, including, of course, FA Cup winning captain Peter Rodriguez.
And Philip Gilliam sent in this picture of his dad Peter in the lower tier of the Old West Stand. Mind your head, Peter.
And James Ozee was one of those fans, we saw some of the pictures there, who took turf from the pitch, planting it, and wait for it, marking it out in his granddad's garden. I
always wondered if they knew which bit's the bit of grass there. And everyone thinks Uwe Rosler scored the last goal at the Dell in that friendly against Brighton, but maybe it was Phil Canali who took his boots to the game and then played on the pitch after all the crowds had dispersed. Clever. That's the real answer to the trivia. Phil Canali. Maybe he got the last goal, but yeah, great scenes for the city of Southampton there.
It's lovely seeing all those archive pictures as well, isn't it?
Brilliant, yeah,
Lewis,
really good, yeah.
Thank you very
fantastic.
much for that. That's wonderful.